Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Malik Harris. I got the great honor of representing Germany at this year's Eurovision, and I'm super hyped to be at Good Evening Europe.
Good evening, Europe!
I'm Malik Harris. I'm a 24-year-old musician based in Germany. I'm half American, half German. And yeah, I'm very happy to be part of Eurovision and play a very, very personal song, which I wrote, which is called Rockstars. And yeah, super hyped and looking forward to be standing on that stage.
I don't know if you would call yourself an experienced musician yet, but you have released some music before. What describes you as an artist?
Oh God, I'm so bad at describing myself. I would say maybe one thing that might stand out is that I write all my songs myself, and I'm very, very open when it comes to my songwriting. So it's almost like a diary entry every time I write a song, and it's just like I just share my most inner feelings and thoughts about basically anything that I deal with, and so my songs are on a very, very personal level, especially this one. And also, what I think defines me as a musician is that I play a couple of instruments. I play the piano, the drums, the guitar, and some bass. And I try every time I'm on stage, I use a loop station, and I'm completely by myself on stage, and I play all these instruments, and I combine them through my loop station. So that might be something that people will maybe call like a trademark thing that I do.
Yeah, because that was going to be one of my next questions. That we've seen you play piano, drums, guitar. We've seen you sing. We've seen you rap. Is there anything musically that you can't do?
Dance, probably. I don't know. I mean, after a couple of beers, I feel like I'm a great dancer, but that's not up for me to decide.
So we're not going to see that in Turin.
Probably not. Maybe in the after party.
Oh, we're looking forward to it.
All right.
And also, I was thinking if we could talk a little bit about your song Rockstars. There's one question that comes to mind to me, and I'm sure everyone at home is thinking the same thing. What is the deal with you and The Office?
The Office is like the greatest TV show of all time. I'm a huge fan of The Office, and it was actually one scene of The Office which inspired me to write the song Rockstars, which is funny because it doesn't sound like a song that was inspired by a comedy show. But you know, The Office has some scenes that really hit deep, and that was one of them. I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to spoil which part or who said it, but there was this one quote in one scene where somebody said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." And like that sentence just like really hit me right in the feels. I really immediately started to cry, and it just made me realize how much time I spent, sometimes subconsciously, just thinking about the past, comparing myself to the way I was as a kid. You know, just like this lightheartedness and this these mindless times as a child or in my youth where I didn't really think about anything. I was just happy, and I was just like unconditionally happy about anything. And I realized through that sentence, yeah, that I kind of lost that, and I kind of left those good old days behind. And now I'm just like more of a, you know, I'm caught up in a lot of worries and doubts, and I'm an overthinker. I think about anything, and sometimes I wish I could just go back and be the way I was when I was a child, you know.
And when you heard quote there, did you immediately know this is going to be a song at some point?
Yes. It was funny because right after the quote, and I found out weeks later because I heard the quote in the scene, and I immediately pressed pause, and I was like, oh God, then I started crying. I wrote the song, everything happened, and weeks later I continued watching the episode, and it was funny because I like continued right after that sentence, and right after the sentence, the same character says, somebody should write a song about that. That was so crazy. I saw that and I was like, holy crap, that's not happening right now. So yes, it was like very immediate that I knew I was going to write the song.
We need to send that song to Ed Helms at some point.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. That would be crazy. Yeah, he's got to see it.
When you had the song, how did you know that this was going to be suitable for Eurovision?
I didn't really think about sending it to Eurovision after I wrote it, to be honest. It came a couple of weeks later when a friend of mine asked me, in general, if I could imagine like being part of Eurovision, because he told me that it was like this period where you could apply. And I immediately thought of the song when he asked me about Eurovision, because I was like, I basically never thought about it, but now that you bring it up, I got this song that I just wrote, and it's like, it's super personal. It's super, in a way, it's very vulnerable, and I feel like it might speak to the minds of many, many people out there. And I know that with Eurovision, it's like a huge stage where you reach a lot of people. So I was like, maybe through this stage, I can reach a lot of people out there who feel the same way, or who can like find some form of support, emotional support in that song, or just basically hear the song and not feel so alone with their thoughts anymore. And also, the other reason I thought it was a great song is that I feel like I've never heard anything like it in Eurovision, especially from Germany. So I was like, fuck it, let's just try it out and see what happens,
And were you surprised by actually winning the Germany 12-point show?
I actually was, yeah. I think you could see it in my reaction in the show, because I was like, first of all, I was surprised because I thought the only way I could win is if Germany really wants something new, because it was like it has this rap part, it's a rather dark song, it has this trap beat and everything, so it's not a typically German Eurovision entry, and so that was the one reason, and the other reason was that it was quite a comeback, to be honest, in the show, because I was like second place in the first round of the votes, and it was very clear that I was second place. And then with the last kind of TV votes, the people who voted on what they saw on TV, the live performances, that was the thing that set it all off and made me the winner in the end. So it was like a very late comeback, but I'm very appreciative.
And you talk a lot about this. Rockstars has some very serious and very personal lyrics to it, and your performance was also very personal. How important is it for you to be sharing yourself? So would you ever stand on a stage with a song that you didn't, feel?
No, no way. For me, that is what music is about. It's about being authentic. It's about telling your story. And for me, writing songs and performing songs, this whole process of making music is a form of a self-therapy for me, to be honest. I don't just write songs for the people out there. I basically, more often than not, I write them for myself, because I feel like as soon as I start um, writing songs about my thoughts, the thoughts become much more relevant. They kind of, I give them a body by writing them down, a physical body, and that alone makes me deal with them in a much more intense way. So that's why, writing down my thoughts, not just negative thoughts, of course. I got some songs about just wanting to dance and stuff, but just writing down my thoughts and my feelings, thinking about them, sharing that, putting that in like a form of a melody, and like wrapping it in a musical form that like gives me even more of an emotional vibe, and then also standing on stages and sharing that story as if I was in a therapy session with a lot of people who feel the same way and who give me like their side of the story or their feedback and stuff like that. It's all, this whole ride is like it has a very therapeutic meaning to it, and that's why it's very, very important for me to always perform my songs, for sure.
And about the staging at the German national final, um, was it something that you just came up with just by listening to the lyrics again, or because that also gave away a lot of personal things?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the inspiration for that was basically the music video for Rockstars, which I also did with my video crew, who are also my closest friends, kind of. And the first thing I thought of when we were thinking about what the music video was going to be were pictures of myself as a child, because that is what Rockstar is about. It's about those good old days. So I wanted those good old days to be as personal as the song itself is, and that means sharing my own good old days with the people out there. And so the music video is just me wandering around in an old house, which is basically like my childhood home, and having these pictures all over the place. And so I thought it might be cool for the national final to also share those pictures on the big stage, and to give the people like a visual aid of the lyrics of the song, what it's about.
And I know you can't give much away, but talking about the staging, and you're going to Turin on a much bigger stage. It's going to be something like the German national final, or what can you tell me about?
I can't tell you too much. I can tell you what I'm going to keep from the national final for sure is the way I performed, which is it was basically just me standing on stage. I was the only one there, and that's also going to be the case in Turin. So I have my keyboard, my guitar, my drum pad, and I'm going to sing and rap and use my loop station. So that's also going to be as in the national final, just myself. And what I can also, I think I can give away, we'll see, is that it's going to be very, I want it to be as intimate as possible and as close as possible, because I feel like the song, I don't want too many distractions happening on stage. I just want the people to listen to the song, listen to the lyrics, feel the music, and like convert the emotion of the song rather than having too much going on around it. So that's what I can tell you for sure.
And you mentioned the loop station. How do you feel about Eurovision requiring a backing track that you can't play your instruments live?
I think it's very sad, to be honest. I can understand the reason behind it, which is that, you know, it's a huge live show, and if there's like one cable that's just like not plugged in correctly, the whole set might not work out, and it's like it's a horror scenario. But still, for me as a live musician, it just feels weird. This is my first time that the show, the national final was the first time in my whole life that I played with a backing track, and Turin is going to be like the second time basically. So it's just, it feels very weird for me. But the good thing is that I will keep my staging. So I'm still, you know, I'm sitting at the piano playing the piano. I'll play the guitar. I'm basically actually doing the thing. I'm basically playing the songs. You just can't hear them. But for me, the feeling kind of is basically kind of the same. So that gives me a bit of a, yeah, bit of a better feeling about it. But I think it would be cool if it was live.
We're going to talk a little bit about Eurovision, because it's quite the machinery you're into right now. Have you been following Eurovision before?
But honestly, not too much. I've always known Eurovision, and for me, it was always this beautiful event because I feel like it's the only thing that I can think of basically that manages for decades has managed to bring the whole continent together in a peaceful way and just to celebrate music together. And I feel like every year, I feel like there's nothing that you can compare to that, because it's just crazy to me that there's an event that just manages to bring all these different cultures, all these different countries, all these different people together for one night every year, and to just have like basically a party, like a big festival of music and of celebrating all the different cultures and having the cultures be represented by music and art. That's just so beautiful. So for me, Eurovision has always been like an amazing event, and so I'm just super hyped to be a part of it, actually.
And I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you're representing a country who's kind of had a rough patch in Europe.
Yep, kinda.
Just talked to one of my friends about Germany hasn't received a single televote point since 2018.
Oh, shit.
Do you feel some kind of pressure because of the results the past years that you really want to do well now?
You know, the funny thing is, because I've been asked that question a couple of times, and the same thing that I keep thinking when I get asked is, what if it was the other way around? What if Germany like won, like the last 10 years, Germany always went first place and always won, and now it's my turn. I mean, that would be pressure, you know, that would mean for me to be, holy crap, that's hard. But with things being the way they are in Germany, not having like the best luck streaks of luck in the last couple of years, I feel no pressure at all, to be honest. Not just because of that, but also because as I said, I don't really see Eurovision. I don't really view it as like much of a competition itself. I feel like the competition spirit of it is very much like third or fourth most important thing about it. For me, it's more about like it's like a festival, like a music festival, and I'm part of the lineup, and I'm just super hyped about that. So I don't feel any pressure at all, to be really honest with you. I'm just looking forward to it.
Right. And you've been to a lot of pre-parties now, and you've met a lot of the other contestants. Have you made any new friends?
Oh yes, I love so many people. It's so crazy because I was a little worried before because I didn't know if they were gonna be like competitive, you know. But I came to the conclusion that it's just it feels like basically like a school trip, and we're just hanging out and just having fun, and everyone's just playing their song, and everybody's just fans and standing them. It's so fun. So I got a lot of friends. I'm friends with Jeremy from Belgium, Reddy from Denmark, of course, Sam Ryder from Great Britain, um, Andrea from North Macedonia, Mia from Croatia. It's so cool to also just like find friends that are from different countries, and the thing that unites us is music. That's just so beautiful. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying the trip with my friends.
And I was going to ask you kind of a mean question because you've made so many friends, but do you have
Uh-oh.
a favorite among the other contestants? Not
Oh,
among
let
the
me
other
think.
contestants, but just the songs.
Mm-hmm. I got a few, to be honest. I love just like on a personal level, I love Jeremy's song from Belgium, "Miss You." It's like it really got a lot of elements that I enjoy as a listener. Of course, Sam Ryder's song is beautiful. He's got a beautiful voice. Every time I hear Reddy's song, I'm just super. It just makes me kind of want to like go jogging or something. It just has so much power to it. I love it. Um, Also from Czech Republic, "Lights Off" is a great song. Yeah, the list goes on and on. I got a few for sure.
And it's also very diverse because I mean, sometimes when you talk to someone, they just mention all the rock songs, all
Mm-hmm.
guitar songs and everything. But this is like Czech Republic and Denmark. I can't imagine two songs more different.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, so another part of the pre-party time here has been meeting with the fans. How have you experienced
Mm.
the community so far?
I'm absolutely blown away. That was like the best thing about this whole experience of Eurovision and the pre-parties and just like every decision I've made that led up to the point where I got to meet all these people was just like I'm so thankful, because it's crazy to me to I mean, these fans, they're not just fans, they're so passionate about this whole event and the music and the artists behind it. And there's just so much love. And I got so many beautiful letters and so many, every time the people who are like responsible for the event, they're always like, okay, we go from A to B. They're going to be fans, but we need you to be really fast. We need you to walk through. And I never managed to be fast because every time I see these fans, I'm just like, ah, and I just have to hug them all and take pictures and talk to them because there's just so much love. And I'm just yeah, so thankful for each and every one of them. And just, the basic idea of having fans at places where I personally have never been to, that's just crazy. I mean, we went to like Tel Aviv. There was a pre-party in Tel Aviv, and I personally have never been to Israel. But just like I got out of the bus, and there were like so many people who were just chanting my name and singing my song and telling me that they love my music, and it was just so crazy to me, the idea that there are people in countries I've never been to that love my music. It's just such a privilege, really.
And as the last thing, do you have a message to our viewers out there?
Oh yes, of course. Hey everybody, this is Malik. I'm super hyped to be part of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. I think this year, with everything that's going on, it's a very important event that happens to unite this whole continent at a time where it's so crucial. So I'm very happy to be a part of it, and I'm super happy to be part of this whole community now. And I love you guys very much. And no matter what happens at Eurovision, I'm very thankful to be part of this whole ride. And yeah, love you guys. Take care and stay healthy.